So if you start having hot water issues in your house, generally on your water heater is going to be one of two things. It's going to be a thermostat, it's going to be an element. If you run out of hot water really quick, good chance it's going to be an element. If you suddenly start experiencing really scalding hot water, usually going to be a thermostat. Your bottom element is usually the one that goes bad first because the lime and the scale in the tank builds up on top of it, and that's usually the first one that goes bad. But I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can test your thermostat and your element to see if they're bad. You just need a multimeter that's got a continuity testing and an ohm setting, and I'll show you real easy how you can test them. So before you get started, you want to make sure that you turn the breaker off to the hot water heater. When you take the cover off, you'll pull out these little pieces of insulation. You'll have this little cover on here. Take your hot stick. Again, most important tool in your tool belt is your hot stick. Put it on here. Make sure, just because you turn the breaker off, you want to make sure that you don't have any power. Never trust a breaker. Once you verify the power is off, now I'll show you how to test the element in the thermostat. So 2 tests you can do on your elements to verify that they're good or bad. One is called a continuity test, and basically you're just going to test to make sure that that electrical circuit is complete, that there's no breaks. So you set your meter on the continuity, make sure your wires are disconnected. That audible tone means that it has completed the circuit, that in theory it's still good. Now the problem is you could actually still have a break in that. You could have a calcium deposit bridge that gap or that break and still complete the circuit. So the second thing you want to do is check the ohms on it. Now this is a 4,500 watt element, so we should be 12, 13, 14, but basically a range of 11 to 16, you're probably good. If it's 0, it's bad. So on this one, we're measuring 14. So this element is good. So on your thermostat, basically you've got 2 power legs in the top. This is a 240 volt water heater, so you've got 120 leg and 120 leg coming to the top. You've got your reset button here. So if you lose hot water, the first thing you do is you come down here and you check to make sure your reset on top or bottom is not popped. This part of your control is for your thermostat. And then you've got a jumper here which takes power down, and this is going to be your top element here. On this side, depending on the way this works, is the hot water heater kicks on the top element first, heats the water to the set temperature, and then it goes down and it kicks the bottom element on, and then it'll heat up to set temperature. So the way this works is you either got power here going to the top element, or you'll have power here which is sending down to your bottom element. So an easy way just to test this, you just want to test continuity to make sure that you have continuity through your thermostat. So you set it on your continuity setting on your meter, and you check, and you've got it. Now, you'll have continuity in 1 or 2 places depending on which element is currently working. So in this case, if your top element is working, you would have continuity here. But the bottom element is on because we have our continuity over here. So that's just kind of an easy way. And then you would take the wires off the other side and you do the same thing to make sure you have continuity on the other side. And that's how you test your thermostat.